I fell for the dangerous man who ruined my life. And I couldn't make myself walk away. When I moved to the city, I promised myself one thing: no more trouble. No more men who made me lose myself. No more risks. But Trouble didn't care about my promises. Trouble was 6 feet tall, with sharp cheekbones, dark eyes that burned through me, and a cigarette between his lips as he leaned on the balcony across from mine. The first time our eyes met, it was like he branded me. I looked away, but I could still feel his gaze on my skin. 2 nights later, I went to a small club near my apartment. I wasn't planning to stay long until a drunk man cornered me, his hands on my waist, his breath disgusting against my cheek. Suddenly, the man from the balcony was there, pulling the guy off me like he weighed nothing. "She's with me," he said, his voice low and dangerous. He didn't ask if I was okay. He just took my hand and led me outside. We didn't speak much that night. He just walked me home, his thumb brushing the inside of my palm, sending shivers up my arm. The next morning, I learned his name. Adrian. And that he wasn't just some neighbor. He was involved with people who made others disappear. People you didn't cross. And apparently, I had crossed him without even knowing. My new job was in a design company, and on my second day, my boss introduced me to our silent investor. It was Adrian. He didn't even pretend to be surprised to see me. He just smirked and said, "Looks like I own more than I thought." From that day on, he was everywhere. Showing up at my office with coffee, leaning in close to whisper things that made my face burn, touching me in ways that were too casual to be innocent. But then I learned the truth: the reason I had to leave my old city was because my ex stole from the wrong people. And those people were Adrian's. I wanted to hate him for being part of what destroyed my life. I wanted to run. But every time he looked at me, every time he pulled me into his face, my body betrayed me. One night, he showed up at my apartment without warning. I was in a thin t-shirt, no bra, hair messy. He walked in without asking, closed the door, and pinned me against it. "You keep looking at me like you want to hate me," he said, his breath warm against my lips. "But I know the truth. You want me to ruin you all over again." His mouth crashed against mine before I could answer. His hands slid under my shirt, his fingers digging into my skin like he needed to leave marks. I should have pushed him away, but I didn't. We didn't make it to the bed. We didn't make it past the door. And when it was over, I was shaking from anger, from lust, from knowing I'd just made the worst mistake of my life. Or maybe the best. I tried to stay away after that. But Adrian had other plans. He sent flowers to my office. He followed me when I worked late. He touched me in crowded places, daring me to react. Then, one night, I found an envelope under my door. Inside was a photo of me, asleep in my bed, taken from inside my apartment. My blood turned cold. I called Adrian, furious. "Is this you?" He showed up 5 minutes later, kicked the door shut behind him, and said, "No. But now you see why you need me." That night, I let him stay. And that night, I realized there was no escaping him. Weeks passed. The danger around us got worse. One evening, he told me to pack a bag. "We're leaving," he said. I asked where, and he just smiled. The next thing I knew, I was on a boat, the city lights disappearing behind us. The wind was cold, the sea black. Adrian pulled me close, his hand on the back of my neck. "I told myself I'd ruin you," he whispered. "But you ruined me first." He kissed me hard, the kind of kiss that steals your breath. And then he said the words that made my heart stop: "If you stay, you're mine. Forever. And if you try to leave, I'll find you." I should have been terrified. But all I could think was, I didn't want to leave. Not anymore.